What is starvation? So it refers to a state of extreme hunger where the body experiences a prolonged lack of nutrients, especially essential micronutrients like carbohydrate, fats, and protein. This deprivation can lead to energy depletion and metabolic adaptation as the body seeks alternative fuel sources such as breaking down stored fats and protein. It is a complex physiological response aimed at sustaining vital function during nutrient scarcity.
Carbohydrate metabolism refers to the biochemical processes that involve the breakdown, synthesis, and interconversion of carbohydrates in living organisms. There are three processes that will be explained later. Certainly, glycogen depletion happens when your body uses up glycogen. So, this is our body which has a liver as one of the organs. The liver stores vitamins, minerals, and also glycogen. Glycogen is a form stored glucose primarily found when you do activities like running or exercising. Your body relies on glycogen to meet its energy needs. When glycogen levels become low, the body may shift to alternative energy sources such as fat metabolism. Glucose conservation is like a smart energy saving system in your body. When you eat, your body gets a supply of glucose. Instead of using it all at once, your body has clever ways to save and use it wisely. Your body keeps extra glucose in a special form called glycogen. It's like a savings account for energy mainly stored in the liver and muscles. If you haven't eaten for a while, it can create new glucose from other substances through gluconeogenesis. Hormones like insulin and glucagon play key roles. Insulin facilitates the uptake of glucose by cells, while glucagon releasing stored glucose when levels are low. During periods of fasting, the low of carbohydrate intake leads the body to conserve glucose by relying on alternative fuel sources such as fatty acids and ketones. Have you ever heard about gluconeogenesis? Gluconeogenesis is a process your body uses to make glucose when it doesn't get enough from food. Since the body does not have enough carbohydrates from the food to break down into glucose during this time, it must depend on other molecules such as amino acids, pyruvate, lactate, and glycerol. It occurs mostly in the liver and a bit in the kidney. The process of gluconeogenesis starts with the conversion of pyruvate to oxaloacetate by pyruvate carboxylase. It occurs in mitochondria. Next, the oxaloacetate is converted into phosphoenolpyruvate via phosphoenolpyruvate carboxygenase. By reversing the glycolytic processes, phosphoenolpyruvate is converted into fructose 1,6 biphosphate, which is then converted to fructose 6-phosphate that is catalyzed by fructose 1,6 biphosphatase. The enzyme phosphoglucoisomerase converts fructose 6-phosphate to glucose 6-phosphate. Glucose 6-phosphate generates inorganic phosphate that yields free glucose, which enters the blood. The enzyme involved is glucose 6-phosphatase.
Okay, now I will be presenting about the lipid metabolism. So, what is lipid metabolism? Lipid metabolism is the body's process of breaking down fats to produce energy. It involving the converting of stored fats into a usable energy through a step like lipolysis, beta oxidation, and the production of ketone bodies. This all process becomes crucial when the body shifts from using glycogen to relying on stored fats for energy during periods of low food intake, or we call it as starvation. Regarding the process of lipid metabolism, lipid first will be broken down into glycerol and free fatty acids. Free fatty acids then need to be activated first before it enters the mitochondria for the production of energy. Okay, firstly, fatty acids are activated in the cytoplasm by attaching coenzyme A or CoA to form a fatty acyl CoA. This step requires ATP. The fatty acyl CoA is then will be transported into the mitochondria where the beta oxidation will occur. Okay, beta oxidation is the process by which the fatty acids are broken down in the mitochondria to produce energy. In the beta oxidation, it will involve the four processes which is oxidation, hydration, and thiolysis. Firstly, the fatty acyl CoA is oxidized, leading to the formation of a double bond between alpha and beta carbons. Then, water will be added, forming a hydroxyl group at the beta carbon. The hydroxyl group then will be undergo oxidation again to form a ketone. Lastly, for the thiolysis process, CoA will be binds to the ketone, splitting it into the two molecules which is acetyl-CoA and shortened fatty acyl-CoA chain. For the shortened fatty acyl-CoA chain, it will undergo the same series of reactions until the entire fatty acid is broken down into the acetyl-CoA molecules. For the acetyl-CoA that produced, it will enter the Krebs cycle to produce energy, or in a condition like starvation, it will contribute to the formation of ketone bodies, which is serve as an alternative energy source, especially for the brain.
Hello, my name is Harvey Viswam, and today I'll be talking about protein metabolism, and I'll be talking about four main parts: protein breakdown or proteolysis, amino acid utilization, protein conservation, as well as conservation of lean body mass. Firstly, protein breakdown or proteolysis. As we all know, muscles are made up of approximately 80% protein, and when starvation occurs, the body loses its main source of energy, that is food, and our body will resort to using muscle and fats to generate ATP. This process occurs primarily in skeletal muscles, releasing amino acids into the bloodstream. The second point is amino acid utilization. Amino acids that were released from proteolysis will be used for gluconeogenesis to provide another source of glucose, and it can also be used for ATP generation. Next is protein conservation. Our body has an internal system that strives to ensure that excess muscle loss does not occur. This causes the body to look for alternate sources of energy generation, ultimately ending on fatty acids and ketone bodies. This allows for the body to reduce the muscle atrophy. And finally, conservation of lean body mass. The body prioritizes preservation of vital organs and tissues by minimizing the breakdown of essential proteins. This will ensure that the overall function and health of our body during nutrient scarcity is always maintained.
In conclusion, during starvation, the body undergoes intricate metabolic adjustment to cope with the absence of regular food intake. Initially relying on glycogen stores for glucose, the body gradually shifts to lipid metabolism, breaking down stored fats and producing ketone bodies to sustain critical function, particularly in the brain. Protein conservation mechanism prioritizes sparing amino acid and preserving lean body mass. Hormonal regulation, including the roles of insulin, glucagon, and cortisol, this adaptation to enhance energy efficiency. While this survival mechanism help the body endure short-term nutrient scarcity, it is essential to highlight that prolonged starvation poses serious health risks. A well-balanced and nutritionally adept diet is crucial for long-term health, and medical guidance is necessary in case of extended fasting or malnutrition concern. Thank you.